Welcome to Men's Health 365. Today we're exploring one of the most critical hormones for men over 60, testosterone. But here's what most doctors won't tell you. Your testosterone doesn't have to decline dramatically with age, and there are natural, scientifically proven methods to boost it significantly without expensive hormone replacement therapy or dangerous synthetic treatments. If you're watching this video, hit that subscribe button right now. We share evidence-based health strategies specifically for men over 60 every single week. Also, drop a comment below telling us which country you're watching from. We love seeing our global community grow. Let me share David's story. David is a 67-year-old retired construction manager from Brisbane, Australia. 4 years ago, David felt like a shadow of his former self. His energy was gone. He struggled to get through basic daily tasks. His muscle mass had decreased noticeably despite eating the same diet. His libido had disappeared completely. He felt mentally foggy and emotionally flat. His doctor ran blood tests and confirmed what David suspected. His testosterone levels had dropped to 280 nanograms per deciliter. Normal range for his age is 300 to 1,000, so David was barely within the lower acceptable limit. His doctor immediately suggested testosterone replacement therapy. David was hesitant about lifelong hormone injections and potential side effects. David asked if there were natural approaches he could try first. His doctor was skeptical, but agreed to give him 6 months to try lifestyle changes before starting medication. David researched extensively and implemented 7 specific natural strategies consistently and systematically. After just 8 weeks, David noticed significant changes. His energy improved dramatically, his mental clarity returned, his mood stabilized. After 16 weeks, repeat blood testing showed his testosterone had climbed to 475 nanograms per deciliter. That's a 69% increase without any medication. His doctor was genuinely shocked. Today, at 67, David maintains testosterone levels in the healthy mid-range naturally. He feels stronger, sharper, and more vital than he did at 60. What did David do? He implemented 7 specific evidence-based strategies that we'll cover in detail in this video. Let's start with the first strategy: resistance training with specific protocols. Not all exercise is created equal when it comes to testosterone production. Cardiovascular exercise like walking or jogging provides many health benefits, but it doesn't significantly boost testosterone. Resistance training, particularly with heavy weights and compound movements, triggers dramatic increases in testosterone production. A study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research in 2020 followed men aged 60 to 75 who performed resistance training 3 times per week for 12 weeks. Men who focused on compound exercises like squats, deadlifts, bench presses, and rows using weights at 70 to 85% of their 1 rep maximum showed an average testosterone increase of 27%. The key is training intensity and exercise selection. Compound movements that engage multiple large muscle groups simultaneously trigger the strongest hormonal response. Your body perceives this intense physical demand and responds by increasing testosterone and growth hormone production to help you adapt and recover. The European Journal of Applied Physiology published research in 2019 demonstrating that men over 60 who performed just 3 resistance training sessions per week maintained significantly higher testosterone levels compared to sedentary men of the same age. The difference was approximately 40% higher baseline testosterone in the training group. How should you implement this strategy? Focus on compound exercises: squats, deadlifts, bench presses, overhead presses, bent over rows, and pull-ups if you can manage them. Train 3 times per week with at least 1 rest day between sessions. Use weights heavy enough that you can only complete 6 to 10 repetitions before reaching muscle failure. Perform 3 to 4 sets of each exercise. Keep rest periods between sets relatively short, around 60 to 90 seconds. This maintains elevated heart rate and hormonal stimulation. Total workout duration should be 45 to 60 minutes maximum. Longer sessions actually increase cortisol, which suppresses testosterone, If you're new to resistance training or haven't trained in years, start lighter and focus on perfect form before adding heavy weight. Consider working with a qualified personal trainer for your first month to learn proper technique and avoid injury. Consistency matters far more than perfection. 3 moderate workouts per week will produce better results than sporadic, intense sessions. As you get stronger over weeks and months, progressively increase the weight you're lifting. This progressive overload is essential for continued hormonal stimulation. The second strategy is optimizing your sleep quality and duration. Sleep is when your body produces the majority of its testosterone. Most testosterone production occurs during deep sleep stages, particularly during the first half of the night. A landmark study from the Journal of the American Medical Association in 2021 examined sleep duration and testosterone levels in over 800 men, aged 60 to 80. Men who slept less than 6 hours per night had testosterone levels approximately 15% lower than men who slept 7 to 8 hours. Even more striking, men who consistently slept fewer than 5 hours per night had testosterone levels 30% lower. The relationship between sleep and testosterone is bidirectional. Poor sleep lowers testosterone, and low testosterone disrupts sleep quality, creating a vicious cycle. Breaking this cycle requires prioritizing sleep as seriously as you would any medical treatment. Research from the University of Chicago showed that healthy men who reduced their sleep from 8 hours to 5 hours per night for just 1 week experienced a 10 to 15% drop in testosterone levels. The decline was most pronounced in the afternoon and evening hours. When these same men returned to 8 hours of sleep, their testosterone levels normalized within days. How should you optimize your sleep for testosterone production? Aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night consistently. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. This strengthens your circadian rhythm. Make your bedroom completely dark using blackout curtains or an eye mask. Even small amounts of light can disrupt melatonin production and sleep quality. Keep your bedroom cool, ideally between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Your body temperature naturally drops during sleep, and a cool room facilitates this process. Eliminate all screens at least 1 hour before bedtime. The blue light from phones, tablets, and televisions suppresses melatonin production and delays sleep onset. If you must use devices in the evening, install blue light filtering apps or wear blue light blocking glasses. Avoid caffeine after 2 p.m. Caffeine has a half-life of 5 to 6 hours, meaning half of it is still in your system 6 hours after consumption. Avoid alcohol within 3 hours of bedtime. While alcohol might help you fall asleep initially, it severely disrupts deep sleep stages where testosterone production occurs. Create a relaxing pre-sleep routine. This might include reading, gentle stretching, meditation, or taking a warm bath. The key is consistency. Your brain learns to associate these activities with sleep preparation. If you have sleep apnea or suspect you might, get evaluated immediately. Sleep apnea dramatically suppresses testosterone production. Treatment with CPAP therapy can increase testosterone levels by 20 to 30% in affected men. The third strategy is strategic nutrition focusing on specific testosterone-boosting foods. Your diet provides the raw materials your body needs to manufacture testosterone. Certain nutrients are absolutely essential for optimal production. First, and most important, is adequate healthy fat intake. Testosterone is synthesized from cholesterol, so extremely low-fat diets actually suppress testosterone production. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition from 2018 compared men following different dietary fat levels. Men consuming 20% of calories from fat had significantly lower testosterone than men consuming 40% of calories from fat. Focus on healthy fats from sources like olive oil, avocados, fatty fish like salmon and mackerel, nuts, and seeds. Second, ensure sufficient protein intake. Protein provides amino acids necessary for testosterone production and helps maintain muscle mass, which correlates directly with testosterone levels. Research from the Journal of Nutrition, published in 2020, showed that men over 60 who consumed at least 1 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight daily maintained higher testosterone levels than men consuming less. That means if you weigh 70 kilograms or 154 pounds, you should aim for at least 70 grams of protein daily. Third, include zinc-rich foods regularly. Zinc is a critical cofactor in testosterone synthesis. Even mild zinc deficiency can significantly suppress testosterone. Oysters are the richest source, providing more zinc per serving than any other food. Other excellent sources include beef, lamb, pumpkin seeds, chickpeas, and cashews. Fourth, don't neglect vitamin D. Vitamin D functions more like a hormone than a vitamin in your body. Multiple studies have demonstrated strong correlations between vitamin D levels and testosterone. Research from the journal Hormone and Metabolic Research showed that men with vitamin D deficiency had significantly lower testosterone than men with optimal levels. Supplementing to achieve optimal vitamin D levels increased testosterone by approximately 25% in deficient men. Get vitamin D from sunlight exposure on bare skin for 15 to 30 minutes daily when possible. Food sources include fatty fish, egg yolks, and fortified dairy products. Many men over 60 benefit from vitamin D supplementation, typically 1,000 to 2,000 international units daily, but check with your doctor and get your levels tested. Fifth, include cruciferous vegetables daily. Broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and cabbage contain compounds that help your body metabolize estrogen more efficiently. Excess estrogen in men suppresses testosterone production and contributes to fat storage, particularly abdominal fat. Avoid excessive sugar and refined carbohydrates. High blood sugar triggers insulin release, which suppresses testosterone production. A study in clinical endocrinology showed that consuming 75 grams of sugar reduced testosterone levels by up to 25%, with suppression lasting up to 2 hours. Men who regularly consume high-sugar diets maintain chronically lower testosterone levels. Limit alcohol consumption significantly. Alcohol directly damages the cells in your testicles that produce testosterone. Even moderate drinking suppresses production. Research shows that men who consume more than 5 alcoholic drinks per week have measurably lower testosterone than men who drink minimally or not at all. The fourth strategy is maintaining a healthy body weight, particularly reducing abdominal fat. Body fat, especially visceral fat around your midsection, contains an enzyme called aromatase. Aromatase converts testosterone into estrogen. The more abdominal fat you carry, the more testosterone gets converted to estrogen, creating a hormonal imbalance. This is why obesity and low testosterone are so closely linked. A comprehensive meta-analysis published in Obesity Reviews in 2019 examined data from over 15,000 men. Every 5-point increase in body mass index was associated with approximately a 2% decrease in testosterone levels. More importantly, studies show that losing excess weight can dramatically increase testosterone. Research from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism followed obese men who lost an average of 10% of their body weight through diet and exercise. These men experience an average 50% increase in testosterone levels. That's a more dramatic increase than many men achieve with testosterone replacement therapy. The weight loss directly reduced aromatase activity and decreased the conversion of testosterone to estrogen. How should you approach weight management for testosterone optimization? Focus on sustainable calorie reduction rather than extreme dieting. Very low-calorie diets can actually suppress testosterone. Aim to lose weight gradually at a rate of 1 to 2 pounds per week. Prioritize protein to preserve muscle mass during weight loss. Muscle tissue supports healthy testosterone levels. Combine calorie reduction with resistance training to maximize fat loss while maintaining or even building muscle. Focus particularly on reducing visceral abdominal fat. This is the most metabolically active fat and has the strongest negative impact on testosterone. Waist circumference is a good proxy measurement. Men should aim for a waist circumference below 40 inches, ideally below 37 inches. The fifth strategy is stress management and cortisol reduction. Cortisol and testosterone exist in an inverse relationship. When cortisol goes up, testosterone goes down. Chronic stress keeps cortisol elevated continuously, which chronically suppresses testosterone production. Modern life creates constant low-level stress from work pressures, financial concerns, relationship issues, health worries, and information overload. Your body responds to all of these stressors by producing cortisol. A study in the journal Psychoneuroendocrinology examined men in high-stress occupations. These men had cortisol levels approximately 40% higher than men in low-stress jobs, and their testosterone levels were correspondingly 28% lower. The relationship isn't just correlational, it's directly causal. When researchers experimentally increased cortisol levels in healthy men, testosterone levels dropped proportionally. The mechanism involves the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis. Elevated cortisol signals your brain to reduce signals to your testicles to produce testosterone. From an evolutionary perspective, this makes sense. In times of stress or danger, reproduction takes a backseat to immediate survival. Unfortunately, chronic modern stress keeps this system suppressed continuously. How should you manage stress to protect testosterone levels? Implement a daily stress reduction practice. This could be meditation, deep breathing exercises, progressive muscle relaxation, or yoga. The specific technique matters less than consistency. Even 10 to 15 minutes daily provides measurable benefits. Research from JAMA Internal Medicine showed that men who practice meditation for 8 weeks reduce cortisol levels by 23% and experience corresponding increases in testosterone. Spend time in nature regularly. Multiple studies demonstrate that time spent in natural environments reduces cortisol more effectively than time in urban settings. Cultivate strong social connections. Loneliness and social isolation are powerful chronic stressors. Men with strong friendships and family connections have measurably lower cortisol and higher testosterone than socially isolated men. Engage in enjoyable activities regularly. Hobbies, creative pursuits, and activities that produce flow states reduce cortisol and improve overall hormonal balance. Set boundaries around work and technology. Constant connectivity and inability to disconnect from work creates chronic stress. Establish clear work-life boundaries and protect personal time. The sixth strategy is limiting exposure to endocrine-disrupting chemicals. Modern environments expose us to numerous synthetic chemicals that interfere with hormone function. These endocrine disruptors can mimic estrogen in your body or directly interfere with testosterone production. Common sources include plastics, particularly those containing BPA and phthalates, pesticides on conventionally grown produce, personal care products containing parabens and triclosan, and nonstick cookware containing PFAS chemicals. Research published in Environmental Health Perspectives examined blood levels of common endocrine disruptors in over 1,200 men. Men with the highest exposure levels had testosterone levels approximately 24% lower than men with the lowest exposure. The relationship remained significant even after controlling for age, body weight, and other factors. Animal studies provide even stronger evidence. Male rats exposed to BPA during development showed permanently reduced testosterone production and impaired reproductive function. How should you minimize endocrine disruptor exposure? Stop using plastic containers for food and beverages. Switch to glass or stainless steel. Never microwave food in plastic containers. Heat increases chemical leaching. Choose organic produce when possible, particularly for the Environmental Working Group's Dirty Dozen list of most contaminated fruits and vegetables. If organic isn't accessible or affordable, at least wash all produce thoroughly. Read labels on personal care products. Avoid products containing parabens, phthalates, and triclosan. Many natural alternatives exist. Replace nonstick cookware with stainless steel. cast iron, or ceramic alternatives. The convenience of nonstick isn't worth the hormone disruption. Filter your drinking water. Many municipal water supplies contain measurable levels of endocrine disruptors from agricultural runoff and industrial contamination. A quality carbon filter removes most contaminants. Choose natural cleaning products over conventional chemical cleaners. Many conventional products contain endocrine disruptors that you absorb through skin contact or inhalation. The seventh strategy is strategic supplementation with evidence-based nutrients. While whole foods should always be your primary focus, certain supplements have strong scientific support for testosterone optimization. First is vitamin D if you're deficient. As mentioned earlier, vitamin D deficiency is extremely common in older men and directly suppresses testosterone. Testing is important. Optimal levels are between 50 and 80 nanograms per milliliter. Most deficient men need 1,000 to 4,000 international units daily to reach optimal levels. Second is zinc if your dietary intake is insufficient. Zinc supplementation in deficient men can increase testosterone by up to 30%. However, more is not better. Excessive zinc can actually cause problems. Most men benefit from 15 to 30 milligrams daily if dietary intake is low. Third is magnesium. Like zinc, magnesium is a cofactor in testosterone production. Modern diets are often deficient due to soil depletion. Research shows that magnesium supplementation can increase both total and free testosterone, particularly in men who exercise regularly. Typical doses range from 200 to 400 milligrams daily. Fourth is ashwagandha, an adaptogenic herb with centuries of traditional use. Modern research supports its testosterone-boosting effects. A randomized controlled trial published in the American Journal of Men's Health showed that men taking 600 milligrams of ashwagandha daily for 8 weeks increased testosterone levels by approximately 15% compared to placebo. Ashwagandha also significantly reduces cortisol, which indirectly supports testosterone through the mechanisms we discussed earlier. Fifth is fenugreek, another herb with promising research. Studies show that fenugreek extract can increase both total and free testosterone, while also improving strength and body composition in men engaged in resistance training. It's important to note that supplements work best when combined with the lifestyle strategies we've already discussed. No supplement can overcome poor sleep, chronic stress, obesity, and inactivity. But when used as part of a comprehensive approach, strategic supplementation can provide meaningful additional benefit. Before starting any supplements, consult with your healthcare provider, particularly if you take medications or have existing health conditions. Let's return to David's story. The 67-year-old from Brisbane I mentioned at the beginning. David's approach was comprehensive and consistent. He joined a gym and hired a trainer to teach him proper resistance training technique. He trained 3 days per week without exception, focusing on heavy compound movements. He prioritized sleep ruthlessly, establishing a consistent bedtime routine and sleeping 7.5 to 8 hours nightly. He dramatically improved his diet, increasing healthy fats and protein while eliminating sugar and processed foods. He lost 23 pounds over 4 months through this combination of training and nutrition. David implemented a daily 15-minute meditation practice to manage stress. He stopped drinking alcohol entirely except for occasional special occasions. He switched all his food storage to glass containers and replaced his non-stick pans. He started supplementing with vitamin D after testing showed deficiency, along with zinc, magnesium, and ashwagandha. Within 8 weeks, David felt dramatically better. Within 16 weeks, his blood tests confirmed what he felt. His testosterone had increased 69% naturally. Today, David maintains these practices as permanent lifestyle changes. He says they've become habits that require minimal willpower. The results speak for themselves. His energy remains high. His muscle mass has increased noticeably. His mental clarity is excellent. His mood is stable and positive. His libido has returned to levels he hadn't experienced in over a decade. David's doctor now refers other patients to learn about David's natural approach before considering hormone replacement therapy. Now, is this approach guaranteed to work for everyone? No approach works for everyone. Some men have medical conditions that require hormone replacement therapy. Some men won't see dramatic increases despite implementing all these strategies, but research clearly shows that the majority of men over 60 can significantly improve their testosterone levels naturally through comprehensive lifestyle optimization. Even if your increase isn't as dramatic as David's, any improvement provides meaningful benefits for energy, muscle mass, cognitive function, mood, and overall quality of life. If you're over 60 and experiencing symptoms of low testosterone, start implementing these strategies today. Don't wait for perfect conditions or try to change everything simultaneously. Pick 2 or 3 strategies to focus on first. Perhaps start with sleep optimization and resistance training. Once those become habits, add nutrition improvements. Then add stress management practices. Build your comprehensive approach gradually over weeks and months. Give your body time to respond. Hormonal changes don't happen overnight. Plan to evaluate your progress after at least 12 to 16 weeks of consistent implementation. Consider getting your testosterone levels tested before you start and again after 3 to 4 months of consistent lifestyle optimization. This provides objective data on your progress. Normal ranges vary by laboratory, but generally total testosterone between 300 and 1,000 nanograms per deciliter is considered normal for older men. Optimal levels are typically in the mid to upper part of that range. Free testosterone, the biologically active form, is equally important to measure. Before we wrap up, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're building a community of men over 60 who want evidence-based health information without the hype. And drop a comment below telling us which country you're watching from. It helps us understand our global audience and create content that serves you better. To summarize today's essential information, the 7 natural strategies for boosting testosterone are resistance training with heavy compound exercises 3 times per week, optimizing sleep quality and duration to 7 to 9 hours nightly, strategic nutrition emphasizing healthy fats, adequate protein, zinc-rich foods, and cruciferous vegetables while avoiding excess sugar and alcohol, maintaining healthy body weight and reducing abdominal fat, managing stress and reducing cortisol through daily practices, minimizing exposure to endocrine-disrupting chemicals and plastics and personal care products, and strategic supplementation with vitamin D, zinc, magnesium, ashwagandha, and fenugreek if appropriate. These strategies work synergistically. Implementing just 1 or 2 provides some benefit, but implementing all 7 creates powerful cumulative effects. David's 69% increase demonstrates what's possible with comprehensive, consistent application. You deserve to feel energized, strong, and vital in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. Thank you for watching Men's Health 365. We'll see you in the next video with more evidence-based strategies for men over 60.